After a little break to post that warrior salmon fly, the mixed wing salmon fly that I tied, we're back to this book here. If you don't know what this is, I'm going to link a video at the top of me explaining what it is and how old it is, where it came from, and the flies that were inside of it. It's a really cool story, and especially if you like old gear, I think you'll like that video. So check it out. The fly is this one right here. That's the one we got. And it's another red floss with a black wire bodied wet fly. Other than that, though, nothing is the same. It's tip of tail. It's another one of these hard to find brown hackles or dark ginger. And this wing, this was not a Mallard wing, although you probably could use it. I just don't think it'll look as good. You want something like a Gadwell or a Teal, or some, decent sized head like basically all the flies in this box. And I think it should be pretty cool, so I'm going to give it a shot. Now I don't have the hook. If you notice, this hook style, I don't know much about hooks, but this hook, let me put it in this way so you can see. The hook is different. It's not your typical just round and then straight. It's got like a round, and it's almost like got an angle. I don't have this type of hook, so we're just going to use an old mustad like this here. That's what we're going to use. Thread, Giorgio Benici 12-0. I'm going to throw some wax on it. Back pretty far. Tip of tail. Looks like they got, I don't know, 5 or 6 fibers. I'm having trouble picking this tip of tail up. Okay. Now you want, the way they got it is that you don't see that second bar. They're tying on to that second bar, which means you need a really long tippet. Because if you're tying on to that second bar, think about it, right? It's just going to be long enough, this one. So if we take the fibers and kind of make sure they're aligned, it's easier if you get rid of all this junk. Make sure it's aligned. And then you just pinch it here. You clip it off. So now you know the tips are aligned because you grabbed them, and now you can just get the length correct and put it on. Remember, you want to tie it onto that black bar. There we go. And then we just want to make sure it's on top and they're all together. That's good. Now, I'm going to tie on the floss first, which is not normal. But I want to make sure that the first turn of the floss I'm using is this, by the way, just a red Danville. 4-strand, you're only using 1 strand though. I want to make sure that first turn is before the black wire. So we're going to tie this on first. Normally, if the black wire is turned on second, it's got to go on first. black wire. I always keep it in these bags here because the cutoff that you used from the previous fly, you want to keep it with the spool. So that's a cutoff that I used, and this is the, take it out just to show you the label. It's just a black small wire. It's the ultra wire. Makes things really easy. Pick up a package of 100 of these bags on eBay or something. I mean, just look for a bag, 3 inches by 4 inches or something like that. Pick up a package, 250. It's not going to cost you much money. Do it because they are so useful. Now we'll put this wire on, and then we're going to go up, and we're just going to make sure this is smooth. Using a red thread would probably be a decent idea as well, but I think we should be able to cover it. We just gotta make sure that we tie it on good. Put enough turns in. It's tricky not to make this floss fall apart. I think that's what I want. I'm just going to look at it here. I think that's okay. Yeah. That's good. Let me get one piece of floss. Now we got to make sure that since we're only doing a single turn here, we're not going back and then forward. We got to make sure that we overlap a decent amount here. Because if not, then you're going to see that black thread. You don't want to see the black thread. This is another reason why the red thread is not a bad idea. Make sure you take your time to get this wire even. It really is important, and it's not that hard to take your time. And if you feel like it's not right, like I feel like it's not right here, go back. And get it the way you want it. All I did was just move it a hair. Okay, hackle. Hackle's pretty long. They got it pretty long. I think not that long. I think that should be all right. I don't have much here, so I'll probably have to use some hackle pliers. Will you get off that thing? There you Now we're turning it. It's not just the throat. Because if you look at this thing, underneath the wing, there's hackle there. So we're not just putting a throat on, we're turning it. There's a very loud crow outside my window right now. Okay, we're going to go back to about here. That's what we want. And we'll use these hackle pliers. Let's see, how much are we going to get out of this? We're going to tie over it to get it to go back, so we don't have to really bend it that much. I think we need a little bit more. That's a lot of turns, but really not a lot of hackle. Let's get this out of here. I'm going to use these little pieces that are hanging. I think that's okay. Pushed back pretty good. It's not pushed back far enough. It's going to get in the way of the wing. If it's up too high like this, it'll keep your wing too high. We kind of want a low wing. Okay, so let's put that on. Wing is teal, and you want to just strip off basically everything but the tip. Now they didn't do it like this. For sure they didn't do it like this back in the day, but this is how I do it. Just to keep it. You want one that kind of is fairly straight in the front, and the tips are pretty good. Like the ends of the fibers, and it's a big piece. You say to yourself, "Hey, well, this is kind of big." Well, it disappears quick, and we want to. It's got to be here somewhere. So even though it looks big, you're not putting that much on. And you're really just folding it over. See that? Making sure you're at the right length. And you're putting it on. Don't get too nuts with this stuff. I'm telling you, especially with this type of wing, where it's really a soft, very soft fiber wing. If you spend too much time on it, it's gonna be all screwed up. So just put it on, make sure it's tight, and then cut it. That's it. Try and put the wax on before you put the wing. Every time I do it. And also cut this now. If something's hanging off, just get rid of it now. It's going to be a disaster trying to get rid of it after you tie it in. And I just go to the eye and I just build it back. And then definitely looks like some more stuff needs to be covered. But we'll do that with a whip finish. Alright, there it is. Unknown wet fly. Teal wing. And I think it's an okay length. Well, it's just a hair. You know what? Holy Jesus! Now that I got it next to mine, I'm looking at it, and I'll tell you, something doesn't look right here with this wing on this original. Incredibly, I'm looking at it now, and I feel like got my little magnifier. Yeah. You believe this? I cut this wing. This is cut with a pair of scissors, just right at the tip. That's really interesting. I've never seen a wing cut like that. But I have heard of people tying, production back in the day, and they cut hackle because hackle was so hard to come by, the right length, because they didn't have genetics back then. So they would tie it on, they'd wrap, and then they'd just go around the edge with a scissor and cut it to length. But I've never seen it on a wing. That's really interesting. Well, you could probably tell from here that that's a straight, right? And this is pretty straight too, but you see how the ends are very wispy? There's nothing here. This is like, a good 1/8 inch is cut off this. It makes sense. They're not going to go through material and look for the absolute perfect material. They're going to use what they got, and whatever they have to do to make it work, that's what they do. And this looks great. It just happens to be cut. And I didn't even know. I didn't even know until I got it up next to this one, and I saw these wispy ends, and I went to go look at this one to say, okay, does this have wispy ends? And I'm like, no, it doesn't. But it really doesn't have any ends. Wow. That is really interesting to me. That is really, really interesting. Alright, well, unknown wet fly. I got a little bit of just give this a hair of a, there we go. Unknown wet fly. Teal wing. Pretty cool. I like it. I'm not sure if there's like a little piece of fuzz here, but I don't really want to mess with it. I don't want to mess with it. That's it. It's a cool fly, almost like a Queen of Waters. The two differences, one is that Queen of Waters, the obvious difference is it has a body hackle. This doesn't have a body hackle. But the other difference is that Queen of Waters is orange. An orange floss, not red floss. Oh, I guess also the difference is they use a Mallard wing on a Queen of Waters. It's not a teal, not a dark barred wing. But there is a Queen of Waters in this box, so we're going to be doing that one. Maybe next. See the difference. Alright. Thanks, everyone.